His car has said kaput. The Mercedes is limping. He's limping. Hamilton will resume the lead. But here we go. It's Ricardo, Vettel and myself. There's green flags where we are. No, okay, now it's yellow flags. But the Bottas must have pulled off the road by now. Ah! Oh my great goodness. Me and Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, Happy New Year to everybody. If you indeed missed my New Year's video, as well as Merry Christmas, even if you missed that one. We're back in 2021 on the F1 2020 game, back in the My Team career mode. And you guys can realize by the time of me recording this commentary, it has been post-2020, not pre-2021. So, guys, it's the new year. It's still a jolly time, so please be a jolly lad or gal and drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds. Guys, looking at the activities for this episode, we've got a funded team event we are looking towards. The next race weekend we are heading towards is the USA Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, COTA for short. Not a track I'm particularly fond of or relatively good at, but I'm average. It's just corner cut central with that first sector, but not the point. We've got a second driver PR filming that we also need to do for Mr. Aitken, even though this is very much maybe one of his last races for the car, because he has still yet been able to score a world championship point. So, it's not looking good for Mr. Aitken, and next season is looking all nice and dandy for us. Those of you guys that are new to the channel, we have had the best possible rookie season in F1, and it's only getting better, it looks to me.
Now, while today's classic exhibition event has no direct impact upon the Formula One World Championship, you better believe that with their reputations on the line, the drivers down there are still hungry to show that they've got what it takes to get a win.
Invitational event time, driving the 2006 Renault R26, the car that gave Fernando Alonso his second world championship. A beast of a car, with the car still had grooved slick tires, not full slicks, and it was still, this was actually the first year when the cars used V8 engines. So this Renault sounds kinda nice. It sounds all nice and dandy. But yeah, guys, heading towards this episode, I always show you guys the invitational event because I feel it's a nice little add-on to the episode. And I mean, just to listen to this thing is a privilege on its own. There's a section in this little sequence where I'm just going to keep quiet and let you guys listen to a thing of beauty. Look, it's no V10 or V12 F1 car. Damn, I had a little bit of a tank slapper there. But it's no V10 or V12, but still, it's better than these modern fart cans that we have for engines. Guys, look, I know you guys always say I bash on the V6 engines. I don't bash on their performance. They're by far the best performing engines in F1 history, that's without a shadow of a doubt. But they sound like a very squealy fart in a can. This Formula One is supposed to sound like this, not like You get what I mean? So, that's a bit of a quarter cut. Luckily, quarter cut rules were not on for this little invitational event. And guys, I mean, honestly, it gives you $150,000 cash and 1,000 rep. So it's worth doing them. They really, the invitational events on F1 2020, unlike in F1 2019 and previous games where the invitational event was just a little break in the career mode, in the My Team career mode, they can actually really help you. So they are worth doing. You can see I've already passed 2 of the other guys. I've got 2 to go. Sari is next in his Williams, his 92 Williams. Let's go up the inside. It's a beautiful, easy move because this car is in an era of its own, and that early 90s car will not hold a candle to this 2006 V8 Renault Beast. But we are going on. We've got 5 seconds to catch to Atiye, but you guys see getting to the end of the lap, we already catch him. And guys, this is where I'm quickly going to keep quiet. Listen to this piece well, to this masterpiece. That sounds bloody spectacular. Oh, guys, like Vettel said at the end of 2019, bring back the V12s, bring back the V10s, bring back even the V8s for all I care. We just need that scream. We need that scream back in our F1 lives. But we passed the invitational event, $150,000 in our back pocket, 1,000 acclaim. Everything is looking all nice and dandy here at It's Turbo Boosted Racing. And guys, I have to be honest, heading towards this episode, for those of you guys that have watched my parts career modes, you guys will know that I am really not fond of Kota. It's a track that's really hard to gel with, just like Suzuka. It's hard to get a rhythm, but when you have a rhythm, the track can be very much enjoyable. So this weekend, I was just trying to, get a point, top 10, one, maybe 9th place, 2 points. You guys know I've said in previous episodes that this has literally been a dream rookie season. I do not care how these last few races go. I'm just going to try and do my best, but you never know what the weekend holds, and I think we're in for a good one. So without further ado, let's head straight to Circuit of the Americas for the American Grand Prix.
All right, listen up, everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now, there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. All right, everyone, let's get on top of this.
What will the technical regulation change be? We're going to check out that in just a quick nifty second. Guys, I honestly didn't think a regulation change would come this late in the season. That means it's not going to be a big one, so I'm not really stressed at all. When it comes earlier in the season, usually it's a massive regulation change. But this late, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Seriously? 4 upgrades. That's not a regulation change! That's a durability change. Regulation means powertrain, chassis, or aerodynamics. What? Okay, guys, I honestly can't care less about the reliability of the car. We've got 4 upgrades that we need to repurchase at half price, so it's really not going to be that hard. Looking at the performance shot, we've got Mercedes AMG Petronas Racing still leading the way from BWT Racing Point in P2. Ferrari is still in P3, just ahead of Red Bull Racing. McLaren and Renault are fighting over P5 and P6. You've got AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, us at It's Turbo Boosted Racing, and Alfa Romeo Racing fighting over P8 to P10, to P9. Haas is still right behind us actually in P10. They are really closing up to us, and Williams are still bringing up the rear end of the field in P10. So you guys can see we've got 4 races to go: America, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. I nearly forgot about Brazil. How the hell can I do that? You guys see, this is it. Practice! Ooh, that's a bad shunt. But you guys see, even though you guys know me, I'm gonna take it nice and gentle, and as soon as I get into the car, I push like an absolute stabbed rat. So that's what happened here. You guys can see I'm really taking liberties. Yo, that was harsh. That was a big hit. But that was at the end of my first practice. This is now practice 2. Heading through this next section, you guys see this is actually a very nice section of the track if you get it right. But if you don't get it right like I did there, it bites you in the arse. In any case, guys, it's time for qualifying. Let's see what we can do, and let's hope for the best. Yeehaw! Skipping the quali intro because we're already 9 minutes into the video. For you guys that didn't know, that little invitational event in the beginning of the video, it was a little bit of a long one, but I still wanted to show you guys that because I feel other YouTubers don't show that, and it's actually something that can be enjoyed, especially when you're a proper F1 fan and you do miss the old cars. Now guys, heading towards the end of our Q1, we're already in P13, now we go up to P10. Come the end of the session, we are in P15, we just make it, but I really felt secure in my position and my time, so that was all I needed. Our teammate Jack Aitken is already out of qualifying, so another disappointing quality performance from Aitken. Now we jump into Q2. At the end of our first run, we come across the line. We are P16, but guys, remember, I always use a set of worn tires. We come to the end of the session, and
Standing by.
okay, that was quick. But we come to the end of the session, and you guys know the chances of us making Q2 or Q3 is very, very, very little. So, but let's see what we can do. Going up the hill into the first corner. It's a very tight left-handed hairpin. It's a blind corner. Hit the apex, go downhill, plant the power on the way down. You now go into a flat-out right-hander and into the section that is stolen from Silverstone. Left, right, left, into another right-hander. It's very quick. It feels fantastic going through there, but it is a bit, it's a botched version of Maggots and Beckett. There you go, into this right-hander. Here's the pod wire, spun in practice. Beautiful line through there. Mount the curb on the outside, clip that little curb on the inside. Now we head towards the final corner before we head onto the back straight. It's another hairpin, not as blind as the first corner, but you need to mount that curb on the inside to get the perfect run through there. Get as early onto the power as possible. Open up DRS as you head onto the back straight. We now head down this back straight, barreling down here at 325 kilometers an hour. Hit the brakes now into another hairpin. This track is hairpin friendly. Clip the curb on the inside through here into the most technical section of the track. It's a double right-hander into a double left-hander, but the car really likes to step out on the rear end through this section. Through this part, up the inside, they clip the curb. Now we head into this next corner, which is stolen from the best F1 track to ever exist, the Istanbul Ring in Turkey. Head to this next right-hander, heading towards the final corner. It's almost flat out here, down to third gear, through the corner. I missed the curve on the inside, but we open up DRS and it's going to be P10! P10! P10, we're into Q3! How the hell did we manage that? Okay guys, I have to say myself, that was probably the best lap I've ever done around Kota, but I didn't think it was good enough for P10. Oh wow, we are in Q3. We are in Q3. Once again, I do run on a set of worn tires, but now coming towards the end of Q3, obviously you guys know when you get into Q3, you get an extra set of soft tires. That is the set of tires I'm using now because I qualified. How did I qualify? My brain is broken. I didn't know how I did that. Okay, let's head to the end of qualifying. We go through this final stolen Istanbul corner. Well, through the stolen Istanbul corner for the final time. Into the final corner. We come through the final corner. I don't know where we're going to be, but it's P!
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Hamilton, Bottas, and Sergio Perez. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race?
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin, in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself 14 miles southeast of the city centre and home to the US Grand Prix since 2012. The latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of the wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles an hour, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and the very long back straight into turn 12. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win at the race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, Parker, Ricciardo, Albon, Norris and Max Verstappen. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Gasly, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Stroll, Magnussen, Sainz, Jack Aitken, and George Russell. Ocon, Latifi, Kvyat, and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Jeff doesn't say anything, but guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode. Crazy cool episode here on Super Fox Races. We are heading towards that 250 subscriber goal, so if you're new, hit that subscribe. Don't be stingy. Guys, we got to go for a very risky one stop from softs to mediums. This is too good an opportunity to pass, well, to pass up. We are in the top 10. We are starting from P6. This is insane. How do we keep doing this? I do not know, but we are literally holding on to all the luck that we have. But guys, it's gonna be intense. So you know what to do. Jam with me on the warm-up lap. Let's go, baby!
Into a pond, ripples fade away. Human hearts aren't so lucky. Those battle scars remain. Oh, I can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes of your ghost. Can't let go of the one thing I wanted most. I'm chasing echoes of your ghost. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Guys, are you guys ready for the American Grand Prix? We head to 5 red lights, and it's go for the American Grand Prix. Bottas v Hamilton off the front row. The two Ferraris bog heavily at the start. Perez defends from Leclerc. Up the inside, Vettel tries to go around the outside of Perez. We dive it up the inside. Beautiful 3-1 moment there between myself, the Racing Point, and the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel. We get the move done and move ourselves up into P3. The two Mercedes are leading the way. Hamilton from Bottas. That was a sensational start. We got the traction beautifully off the line. You guys, we're gonna have to take another look at that. Look at this beautiful launch. We just let go of the clutch. The Vettel bogs, then Charles bogs. But look how Charles squeezed me to the wall. It's very close there. But then as Vettel tries to go around the outside of Perez, Perez forgets about the inside. He actually neglects the inside there. And that is, he leaves the door wide open for us. There was a little bit of bumping and barging through that section, but nothing too bad. We move ourselves up into P3. Beautiful start there from us. The two Mercedes boys are leading the way. But I can guarantee you guys, there is no way on this planet that at where our car is now compared to the Mercedes, we will be able to actually do something about the Mercedes. These two guys are going to put pedal to the metal and they are going to try and bolt away, especially now that they've got the opportunity of a back marker, well, no, between midfield and back marker, I'm caught right in the middle there, to actually keep the other cars behind them. And as you guys see, I already go defensive against Checo Perez to try and break the slipstream. But luckily for my sake, Perez is a little bit too far behind to make a move here on lap 1. So we will end the first lap as things stand now in 3rd place. Car number 51 ahead of car 11. And guys, actually, Perez is also an option for me for Season 2. I mean, there's so many drivers. You've got Perez, Leclerc, Gasly, Kvyat, Sainz, Norris, all these drivers. I've even thought about getting George Russell or maybe even Nicholas Latifi for Season 2, because at this stage, guys, I've completely lost faith in Jack. I don't think he's going to score a point. I'm still going to give him his chance, but I highly doubt it. So Lewis Hamilton ends off the first lap in the lead with Bottas P2 and myself in P3, but we have to hear something from Jeff.
Right, Right, some information on Hamilton. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
So you guys heard right there, Lewis Hamilton has got some sort of mechanical issue and he is going to be slow. We actually are trying to defend from Perez here. As you guys can see, I have a beautiful exit coming out of the corner that puts us onto the back straight. Nothing that Sergio can do. And we jump onto, I think this is lap 4, guys, just 2 laps later. And look at this. Valtteri Bottas is going to pounce on his wounded teammate. Here we go, up the inside of Lewis Hamilton, because Bottas knows if he gets stuck behind Hamilton, we will catch up to them. Hamilton was massively slow, guys, but that is now Valtteri Bottas, your new race leader for the American Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas. Here we go, we now jump on board with Alexander Albon, guys. This is a few spots behind. I actually think we rewinded this lap. It's just a little bit of a rewind as Albon tries to go around the outside of the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Räikkönen. And he was actually in an Alfa Romeo sandwich here was Albon. But up the inside goes Alexander, and there we go. He's up another position. We now jump on board with Antonio Giovinazzi. If you guys saw my New Year's and Christmas videos, if you haven't done it yet, go check them out. Merry Christmas to those of you guys that didn't hear it, and Happy New Year. May 2021 be a better year than 2020. Giovinazzi goes up the inside of Räikkönen, and that is another Alfa Romeo, just a little bit forward, even though they basically swapped positions. You guys can see now we jump on board with myself. Beautiful camera through this spot. We are actually at the end of, I think, lap 5 or lap 6, and you guys can see right there ahead of me is the Black Panther Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. Here we go, onto the main straight. We do have DRS now. I love this helicam. It just looks spectacular. Up the hill into the first corner. We try and get as close as possible to Hamilton. And guys, also what's helping me now, look at the wide line there. Hamilton loses control. He had a little bit of a tag slapper there. Right around the outside. Mercedes V. It's turbo boosted racing. What a move around the outside there of Lewis. Guys, look at the replay. Hamilton goes into the corner. I am late into the brake to try and unsettle him, which I do. As he goes to the corner, a massive tank slapper. He's slow onto the power, and that gives us the momentum. Because we take a wide line, we can get on the power earlier, and that is just a sensational move up the inside of around the outside of Lewis Hamilton at a flat out right-handed corner. That felt special. That felt special. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, guys, I honestly do not run good here around Kota. It's not a track that it's a track that I struggle to get a rhythm, and it's a track that really I just don't like the track. I feel it's a track that stole so much from other tracks. It's not a unique track on its own, but that is just me. In any case, Hamilton actually tries to go up our inside. Guys, literally, as I overtook Hamilton, his problem was fixed via computers. So Mercedes did some wonders there. But now you guys can see, look, oh, we go for the switchback of dreams, as everyone would say. What a move! But Hamilton is going to have DRS now. There's nothing that we're going to be able to do. Here comes the now 7-time world champion, and he is around the around the inside, whatever you want to call it. He's around us, and we are now back down to P3. But what a beautiful sequence there from myself and Lewis Hamilton. Let's take a replay of this. Guys, Hamilton goes up the inside. I force him to the inside. He goes wide into the corner. He leaves the door wide open for me to go for the switchback. We get the power down. What a battle between myself and Hamilton, even though these two cars are on completely different sides of the field. What a battle there. But obviously it was inevitable to happen. Hamilton gets us, and he's back into P2, trying to chase down Valtteri Bottas, who is now leading the way by a solid about 8 or 9 seconds. You guys can see Charles Leclerc is the first car in the top 10 to blink, and he is coming into the pit lane, and he is actually going on to a very risky 2-stop. Soft tire, a second set of soft tires onto Leclerc's car. We now look here at Sainz or Norris. I can't see actually. Also a second set of softs. That looks like Carlos Sainz, guys, and also the Williams and the Haas are coming in as well for a second set of soft tires. So these are your risky men who are trying the very audacious 2-stop, but you need clean air to make the 2-stop work here around Kota. Now we jump back on board Sergio Perez, who is still giving me a very tough time, guys. He tries to go around the outside. I'm going to be late to the brakes on the inside. The fend from Sergio. Oh, here comes Sebastian. That was very close indeed. We now jump on board with our... No, that's not our race leader. This is actually Mr. Lewis Hamilton, who is diving into the pit lane. Now, will Hamilton opt for the 2-stop or the 1-stop? Because the 1-stop is even possible on the 2 softest compounds. Hamilton goes on to the hard, so he is definitely not playing around, just trying to make sure this race ends well for him. Vettel does exactly the same. I think all these drivers are going to do exactly the same. Hamilton is going to come out of the pit lane, but will he be ahead of Charles Leclerc? That is the question, because remember guys, Charles came in about 2 laps earlier on those softs, and look at that. Charles has made these softs count, and now he has to try and push as hard as he can to make these softs work before they go over the cliff. We now jump on board with our race leader, Bottas, as he's coming into the pit lane. Onto the brakes before you hit that line, and don't exceed the pit lane speed limit, because you will be smashed by a 5-second stop-go penalty. Here we go. Off for the softs, onto the hard. So Mercedes are doing exactly the same between their drivers, trying to get the most amount of points. Guys, I think if Mercedes gets a 1-2 this weekend, or even if just one of the drivers wins, they seal the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have been dominant this season. Here comes Lando Norris doing the same as Bottas, softs to hard. Now you guys can see I'm going to go softs to mediums. So I have to stay out even longer than these guys on my tires to make sure that I actually make this strategy work. We go all the way to lap 11. Now we dive it into the pit lane, and guys, I actually was confident enough in my car's upgrades to go onto the mediums. You guys can see that's Bottas who caught up to the back of me, but we are now going to go onto a set of mediums and finish this race on the medium tires. Otherwise, there is no way I am defending this very possible P3. Another podium. Guys, I honestly don't know how we're doing this. We still managed to get this car into positions where it's not supposed to be, and I'm not running on like 100 AI. I think this race I actually ran 109. So, this got happened to myself and Perez! No! What happened there? We go back into the replay. We jump on board with Perez, guys. I think I just didn't see him. We look at that. We come up the hill. At that stage, I couldn't see Sergio, and still couldn't see him. And as I go, oh boy, I just rammed Sergio Perez due to I honestly couldn't see Sergio. I couldn't see him. He was just suddenly he was there, and he was busy turning into a very tight angle for the corner. And guys, I don't want to say that's a racing incident, but I also don't want to give that a fault to either of the drivers. As we now look at Danny Kvyat, who is unfortunately not going to end, well, to see the checkered flag of this American Grand Prix. He is out of the American Grand Prix. But guys, I honestly look at Mr. Jack. Oh, is this me? Is this Jack or me? No, that's Jack Aitken still, guys. Oh, that's a hard one. Guys, tell me in the comments down below whether you think that was my fault, or whether it was Checo Perez's fault, or whether you think it's just a racing incident. Here we go on board with Lewis Hamilton. You guys can see now Leclerc's soft tires have gone off the cliff, and now the hards are coming into their best possible state for the race. And Hamilton goes right around the outside of Leclerc, and that is him now up into P2. Now, literally just the end of that lap, guys. Oh, I think it was the end of that lap. Charles comes into the pit lane, and to strap on, I am almost very certain a set of mediums, because if he goes to hards now, this would have been a wasted 2-stop. I see the yellow marks. He is going onto the mediums, so Leclerc is going for a very, very risky, pushy strategy at the end, but he is going to be quick. So keep an eye out for Charles Leclerc. We now jump on board with Daniel Ricciardo, the number 3 car versus the number 5 car. Ricciardo v Vettel. As you guys can see, that's actually me right behind them there. Ricciardo, ooh, that's a little bit of a lock up there. Vettel defends up the inside, but Ricciardo's going to have the inside for this next double right-hander. Who's going to get the move done? Will Danny Rick get the move done? The Honey Badger gets the better of the 4-time, well, in our career mode, the 5-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel. Now guys, let's run through the top 10. Valtteri Bottas is leading the way of this American Grand Prix still, with a significant lead here. So beautiful racing here from Bottas. Hamilton is in P2 still, so it's a Mercedes 1-2. The Constructors' Championship is sealed as things stand now. You guys can see Ricciardo is in P3, Vettel P4, myself in P5, but on a quicker tire. And guys, I only lost out in the pit stops to Vettel and Ricciardo, so I still have a shot to get a podium here. Then you've got Giovinazzi in P6. You've got Verstappen, or is this Albon in P7? I'm not exactly sure, but it's one of the Red Bulls in P7. I think it might be Max. You've got Norris in P8, and then no, it's Albon P7, Max is in P9. Red Bull are having an absolute gander here, and the second racing point of Lance Stroll is in P10. Guys, after my contact with Sergio Perez, he unfortunately did have to go into the pit lane, so to replace his front wing. I do feel bad about that, but in my honest opinion, that was a racing incident because we couldn't see one another as we headed into the corner. Oh, no. The race leader, Bottas, no! Guys, after a magnificent drive here from Valtteri Bottas, his car has said kaput. The Mercedes is limping. He's limping. Hamilton will resume the lead. But here we go. It's Ricardo, Vettel, and myself. There's green flags where we are. No, okay, now it's yellow flags. But the Bottas must have pulled off the road by now. Ah! Oh my great goodness! Me and Vettel just nearly ended our lives there. What the hell, Bottas? You should have been off the road miles before that. Oh my goodness, I just had a heart attack. Guys, look at the replay of this. Vettel just slams on the brakes as Bottas is not yet off of the track, and I just have to take avoiding action. I didn't get the warning to give Vettel back the position. The FIA said that was a legitimate move, which in my opinion it shouldn't have been, because no overtaking under yellow flag conditions, but yet we kept the position. So I'm not going to lie, free position, and now it's ourselves versus Danny Rick. A little bit of a tax lap there. We go for a massive dive up the inside of the double left-hander, but we just overshoot the corner. We run wide, and Danny Rick resumes in P2. Guys, now that Bottas is out, this is a guaranteed podium if we keep the car on track, and we are fighting over P2 with the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo. And I can guarantee you guys, the Renault boys will be screaming in Daniel's ear, you will not let this slash midfield slash back marker car pass you. We jump on board about 2 laps later. You guys can see I'm still behind Danny Rick. We are going through that flat out quadruple right-hander, and I got to see, here we go, onto the main straight where you guys can see I'm taking esports line like an SOB. And now you guys can see it is time to go for the move on Daniel Ricciardo, because my tires are starting to kick me in the hiney. They are starting to wear out. Into the first corner, will we go for the dive up the inside? Yes, we do. Up the inside, a little bit of bumping and barging there. Ricciardo actually keeps his car there, side by side through the flat at right-hander where I overtook Hamilton. Into the S's, Ricciardo, I stick my nose in there! Ooh! How did we not collide there? I stuck my nose in there, but that was... Oh my goodness, guys, look, Ricciardo gets here, but he leaves the door open. I keep my nose in there. Oh my great goodness. I literally have to go count my lucky stars after this race, because clearly I've got too many of them. Look at this, guys, the slow-mo. We just missed the front wing of Daniel Ricciardo. He actually is forced to mount the curb on the inside there, but we take P2 away from Daniel Ricciardo. Guys, the battling in this race has been absolutely phenomenal. But we start the final lap of the American Grand Prix around the circuit of the Americas. Hamilton has been gifted the win here after a very, very, very bad start for him, but it was out of his control. Hamilton leads the final lap. We lead basically the best of the rest. We are in P2 ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel. We now jump on board onto the back straight, and Vettel has suddenly found some new life within that Ferrari. And is he going to try and even take P3 away from Danny Rick? If he can do that, that would be an absolutely gutted experience for Daniel Ricciardo. The number 3 car, he at least deserves P3 today. He drove magnificently. Then you've got Norris, Verstappen, and Leclerc also fighting here for position, but nothing they can do. Guys, Hamilton rounds the penultimate corner and now heads towards the final corner. And after he should have actually gotten P2, he is going to be gifted the win here at COTA in America. But guys, we keep doing the impossible. The dream rookie season continues for its turbo boosted racing. We round the final corner, and yes, it's P2 here at COTA.
Yes, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. Great drive. Thank you.
That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. After an incredible performance, Lewis Hamilton secures the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. After the regulation changes were announced, was it all hands on deck for next year's car? It was more like dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it? Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Claire. And guys, thank you. Oh my soul. What an absolutely spectacular American Grand Prix. That has by far been the best American Grand Prix I've ever had. By far. I mean, I didn't even think that I was gonna get a top 10, to be quite honest. We qualify in P3 with one of the best laps I've ever done in Q2. It's the best lap by far I've ever done around this track, and that was definitely one of my best quali laps ever. And then we managed to get a P2 in this race. Yes, Valtteri Bottas retired, but even if that didn't happen, and you could still resume the battle between myself, Vettel, and Ricciardo, P3 was still very manageable. So how do we keep doing this to get this car into positions where it's not supposed to be, but it clearly deserves to be? We again extend our lead over Max Verstappen. We are once again P5 in the championship. We are now, how many points is that? That is 18 points ahead of Racing Points in the Constructors. We can really do this. We can honestly do this, and then I honestly want to say for Season 2 we need to try and be with Mercedes and Ferrari. Well, Mercedes and where Red Bull is supposed to be. But we need to challenge Mercedes. We've got 3 rounds left. Mexico, Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi. And we have had now... well, I nearly said 3 victories. That's Bottas. We've had 2 victories. We've had 4 podiums this season. 4 podiums and 2 victories. How do you explain that to a press that and then also they ask you how long have you been in F1? Oh, it's my first season. How? This has been absolutely magnificent, guys. Honestly, I want to simulate the final 3 rounds. I won't do that because I know you guys want to see them. But this season has been phenomenal. This season has been unmatched by any of my F1 seasons on any game thus far. It has been spectacular. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If that hasn't earned your like, I know I say this like almost every second video, but I honestly don't know what will. If that performance, after having so many instances where our race should have ended or where it was close to ending due to very close wheel-to-wheel racing, I don't know what will. So if you haven't done it yet, drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds. And from my side, thank you so much for doing that. It helps me out a lot more than you realize. Guys, also, make sure to go check out every single link in the description down below. Myself and iiTzAssassins' second channel, which is not about racing. It's a much more fun-filled, action-packed channel with RPG and FPS games. Great channel, go check it out. And if you're already supporting us over there, thank you very much. Also, thank you guys so much for the support on my social medias as well. Those links are also in the description down below if you don't follow me yet. and you guys are honestly just amazing. Guys, and if you haven't done it yet and you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode. It's 2021, 250 subscribers. Here we come. Let's get it rolling. Guys, a fantastic race, a few close calls. Bottas nearly ended myself and Vettel. Myself and Ricardo nearly ended each other. Myself and Perez nearly ended each other. I ended Perez, but actually he should have ended me there as well. It's been a phenomenal weekend, and I'll see y'all next time. Cheers!